I have been working in the banking system for more than 16 years, and lately I have been focused completely in trading in different type of financial assets. Today, in collaboration with Huobi, we are going to discuss about different trading strategies, advanced strategies, and also advices how you can see the markets overall, and not only to focus on the news and the speculations that are happening during this period of time. So I will begin. I will share my screen. As beginning, I want to share with you an analysis that probably many of you can consider it very boring. An investment in the tokens of brokers. Today I'm going to analyze Huobi token. There is an interesting fact with this because not too many people like the coins. I don't know why, but on the back of them, they have a very high potential of profits. Overall, the profit potential is very high, and I will explain not only from technical perspective, but also on the other side, how we should see the future of investment. So if you are not going to be a short-term speculator, then your main focus should be how to choose the best cryptocurrencies, not just to let's go to speculate only today. So the first one that I'm going to analyze now is the Huobi token. It's a very good one that you are watching. Probably you may think that this is very flat and the volatility here is very low. Indeed, this is not true at all. This type of movements that we can see here at these points, these are accumulative movements. So price is just accumulating volume. When we see this type of movements, most of the time the next volume will break on the upside or on the downside. However, in our situation, we are on the different side. The volume is positioned to break on the upside. And there are many reasons, fundamental and also technical perspectives. So let's go with how I see the tokens that many brokers have. As beginning, when we want to invest in a token, we know that they are the base that all the crypto brokers are using. So they offer also lower commission in order for you to buy and sell different type of assets with their token. So it means that they want to support their token. At the moment that you are buying this token and you are trading for lower commissions up and down by buying and selling different type of cryptos, it means that you are holding all of your money in the broker's token. It means that with time, many traders will come. Let's say that we are 1,000 traders for the time being. After a moment, it will grow 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. What is going to happen? Too many people may want to decrease their commissions because it's something more than normal that we all want to save in commissions. We want to pay less. So what we do, we buy this type of tokens. After some time, we will see that with the increase of the customers that they want to decrease their commissions, we will see on the other side that the number of the tokens that are actually available, they will increase their prices because this is for high demand of the customers. Also, as we can see on the coin market cap, Houbi is ranked the 6th one, so it's getting bigger and bigger time after time, and this will add value with time to the token's value. So it's not something that it will explode in 1 day, in 2 days, or 3 days, but it's something sure that with the time the token of Houbi will increase in value. So this is something that we need to think in advance before investing. I agree with you that probably we shouldn't invest in blind. We should wait for specific point, but when we do an investment, we need to be patient with it. We don't have to close it in advance, or probably we are not going to be a millionaire or to make some millions or some thousands after a year. So just be patient with the movements, but it will come, because as long as the broker will grow, the customers will grow, and on the other hand, we will see that the demand for the tokens will grow as well. So this is a good passive income that you just have to buy in a specific point of time, and for me, it's all fine as I see. So personally, in my portfolio, I use a lot the tokens of the brokers, and most of the time I add on the deep ones, on the dips, when we see this type of movements. So as we can see, let's go now with the part of the technical analysis. After we understood the process after the token, at least how I see it, this is my personal opinion. We can see that beginning from the bottom, this is the accumulation process. What the price did here on the lower part of the structure. Price began to make up and down. We can see that the top of the structure was tested several times in the past. So look at here, this accumulation. On the other hand, what do we have when the price creates this type of patterns? We can see that the price is creating support. And this type of support related with the waves that we are watching here, these are corrective waves. Look at how thin candles they have. They create this type of movements. And after that, we can see the other ones that are more impulsive. We can see again the waves that are moving down, and they are creating again corrective structures, and we can see the impulsive movements again, because also in corrective structures we have impulsive movements and corrective movements. However, it depends from the type of patterns. For our topic here, nothing is important. As we can see, look at the price, how it reacted at this point. Just one moment, please. Look at the price, how it reacted here. And look at what happened after the breakout. So this is usually what happens when the volume increase, and at a specific moment of time, you will see that the price breaks out of the structure. So many people don't believe in technical analysis. This is something that I have faced several times. It's not something new. Many traders believe just only in news, but you shouldn't focus on news, because the chart that we see is the footprint of the money. So everything comes in and out through this type of prints here that we already see. So let's go and interpret the other part of the structure, and after that we will go on the last part of the chart. This is important because we need to understand the part of the technical analysis, how the price was developed. So we can see the explosion here, the upper areas that sometimes we cannot measure because the volatility also on the crypto is very high. All of this area here, this is called the no man's land, because this is something that no one was before. This structure was never tested before, so we don't have structure, we don't have where to rely the resistance area. So in these situations, we see that the price make this type of parabolic movements. These are very aggressive most of the time. However, we cannot anticipate all of them. So let's break it down. After the price moved higher, we can see this aggressive correction. This happened with Bitcoin as well, so this is not something new at all. It's not related with a specific token. And also, as we can see, the breakout that happened at this point, this is from January 21, this type of movement. So look at the breakout that happened here. This was the moment that everyone was focused on the cryptocurrencies trading. And this increased a lot of the volatility when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And also on the other financial assets, it was a crazy year, the previous one that we left. So on the daily chart, I'm going to break it down the other part now. We can see the price that moved down, correction, it moved down again. So we can see that probably this movement here is already completed on this token. What is happening here? Look at the market, how this wave was developed. This is a 5-wave structure. Most of the time we cannot anticipate the corrections because the corrections are something that no one can predict how they can develop in time. It's very difficult. But we can anticipate the impulsive movement. So as long as the price is already accumulating at this point, we can see up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. This is defining very well that we have a support area here. Look at the candles. These are very interesting candles overall. What are these candles are showing to us? These are volatility candles, these ones, the wicks, the tails that we see here. So this is our strong structure support area. The price doesn't want to come lower than this point here. So I'm going to place the price here. Look at the price range. This is the price range where the wave are moving up and down. So this is a very, very strong area if the price comes down again. And look at the movements. Each movement here has a minimum movement of 60%. So also, if you want to trade inside the structure, I'm just labeling out only a small one. There is a strong reason why I'm taking the first area and how we need to see the second area. So the first area that I'm taking here is because the price actually is facing this type of resistance from above. The second one that we are watching is a stronger support area. So at this moment in time, when the price will face the second one, we will see that we are in this type of movement. And it comes as an A, B, C movement. All of this is part of corrective structure. So also in this part, we are in corrective structures. We cannot name everything. Many people create, many traders, let's say, create a bad, they don't understand in the proper way the problems with different type of theories, Elliott wave and harmonic, and I don't know. Also, it is written also in those books that we don't have to interpret everything that we see. Sometimes we see things, sometimes we don't see things to trade in the chart. As long as you don't see anything, just stay away from the chart until it will become clear. Find another financial instrument to invest if you see that something is going wrong. In the situation that we actually are now, for the purpose of this analysis, in my opinion, I find this chart to be very beautiful and consistent in profits. Look at the waves that the price is coming from bottom to top. We have 20%. So this is all a 20% structure. Look at all of these waves. All the time that price came down, it made this movement. So these are the movements. Let me make a bit clear. These are the movements that the price is doing. Look at the movements. We are moving within 20% movements profit. Is very good movement. The next one that we are going to face is probably this kind of movement that we may have. Also the price at this point can also test down the structure. So we can see also this scenario, and the price can test the top, and after that it can move higher. This is the moment that I want to make a range trading here, and in my personal opinion, the price is blocked within this area, and when it will break out above this point, that it comes above $10 here, the price definitely will test the top of the structure that is 11.5. After that, what may happen is that we are having an impulsive movement. If I'm going to clone this type of movement from the top, from the bottom, it doesn't matter, we will see that the next one movement is impulsive movement, corrective movement, impulsive one. And probably the price is going to complete this pattern here. Look at the potential that has this token now. Just one moment, we are in this part. We will be in this type of scenario. So we are in a bad pattern here. It's a very nice scenario. Let's say it will come as a minimum up to 16. So it will almost double in price only from this point. This is something that it will happen, and it will happen very soon. If we buy on the bottom, the increase should be 90%. If we buy from where the price is actually now, and probably we can average down on the part of the lower part here, we have 74% profit if the price moves from this point, and on the other one we have 92%. So for me, these are very solid scenarios, and I really like how they work out most of the time. So I'm just watching this token in a very conservative way, so it can continue also higher. But for me, this is a very nice target. And also the price was at this point approximately at September 21. So this is a very good area. With all the time spent, I'm getting overall, it was 280 days, the impulsive movement from top to bottom, price spent almost 1 month. So when this begin to move, we will be maximum in 2 months on the upper part of the structure. So this is something that I really like here. You can take the screenshot of the token. It's very interesting. The next one that I'm going to continue after this is Bitcoin. I'm going to delete all the scenarios now. The problem with Bitcoin that is happening, and this is the hottest topic that I'm actually watching. I'm actually watching in the market, is that many people are focused on the bearish side of the movement. I don't know why all of this is happening, because it is getting a bit ridiculous overall. I don't see Bitcoin to move in that way for the moment, and probably also later, because the reserves that are accumulated in Bitcoin are very huge. Let's say that we have the structure support, as we have discussed also during the previous sessions. This is something that we need to do. We need to place the structures where they are, where are positioned the buyers and the sellers here. So look at where are positioned the buyers. I'm going to take also the lower part of the structure. So let's say 30K here, it's a very good area. So in my personal opinion, I don't see any reason at all why Bitcoin should go lower, and I will explain that. as we have seen also the previous time, we need to look at the structure, how it behaves. It's not the problem how the theories are working in the bearish side or in the bullish side. So the theories work in different ways. The problem is that are we going to interpret those theories, the Elliott wave theory or probably the harmonic trading, how it comes in line with our way of thinking, or probably are we using those chart patterns, Elliott waves, harmonic patterns, different type of theories, down theory. So are we using them in the proper way, or we are just speculating that we know what we are doing with them? Because all the theories, they have something that is on their back. So we need to see what validate and what doesn't validate them. It's not the problem only to see 5-wave movements or 3-wave movements, because overall we are breaking down the structures from weekly, daily, for hour, 1 hour. So what is appropriate for us to trade? It's not related just only with one wave or one channel. We can see that many patterns are invalidated, but on the other time they validate something else. That is why we need to be creative in thinking what is going to happen if this is going to happen. So if scenarios are all the time in trading, you don't have to have a closed mind. You have to have an open mind in trading, because we are not market makers. We are just trying to do our best in trading. So let's go with Bitcoin structures now. The problem also with Bitcoin that I was hearing during these days, and I was reading the articles, is the problem with inflation. Inflation is something that for me it doesn't make sense at all to decrease the price of Bitcoin, because this is very sensitive topic. We also discussed this also on the previous live stream, if you will see it, that actually Bitcoin is placed taking a place in the safe haven assets. It means that in these situations, inflation, war problems that we are already facing, for example, here in Europe, and it's not a good thing at all. I don't want to go with that topic, but how the market is absorbing that news. It is interesting that Bitcoin is holding value. It means that it's a very strong cryptocurrency, and on the other hand, the market is positioned very, very good in Bitcoin. And as we can see, since all of that mess began, the market is just holding up very strong at this point. So here we are at the moment that the conflict began. And what is happening? Nothing happened on the Bitcoin chart. Just the market is watching, is holding their position, no one is selling. So, my point is that what is usually done in times of high inflation, many individuals they try to invest in assets, financial assets like gold, like silver, like they want to have their incomes secure. They buy properties, different properties. So this is something that happens most of the time, and probably also Bitcoin is well positioned in this problem, because Bitcoin doesn't have to do for the time being with any of the countries. It is not managed from US, from Europe, from Russia, from China. Bitcoin, as we can see, this is something that the central banks, they are not controlling it at all. This is the problem why they don't want to accept cryptocurrencies in their systems. So as long as they are not facing inflation, because what is happening, the people that are investing in cryptocurrencies, they are not going to use the money that they have to buy daily goods. So these are money that we have apart, and we have anticipated this type of things that we want to invest, we want to grow our equity. So it is not money that, this is something that, these are money that we can afford to lose in this type of market. So no one is going to sell their cryptos and to cover their expenses. So it doesn't make sense at all. On the other hand, we have also Bitcoin that is used. Russia want to use Bitcoin, so this will grow volume. On the other hand, we have the Brazilian government that they want to begin the next year with property taxes to apply it. On the other hand, we have one of the Israeli largest bank that we discussed also on the previous live stream, that they are they are giving rise to the clients to trade cryptocurrencies. So all of this volume will not go out from the system. This is growing. So just don't be afraid on this type of panic situations. So let's go after the fundamental part with Bitcoin. Let's go with the part of technical analysis right now. Many traders are watching this movement that is happening. This is the part that we will focus because we have discussed the next one. But everyone is anticipating for the bearish movement. Usually the waves are connected with corrective movements, but this is not something that you should be afraid all the time. What is happening? As the price develops, we collect data. Price is making up and downs. Well, this is a type of flag, but it can transform also in a channel. What is happening? This channel here can continue growing. Look at where we have our channel. This is our channel. This is what the price can do. This is one scenario, because every time we trade, we need to have the scenarios ready. What can happen? Price can bounce from this part, it can jump above the structure, and it will move higher. After it tested the first time and it went down, I think that if price is going to move above this high and above the trend line that we actually have here, price should continue moving higher. So this can be another scenario. And the bearish one that everyone is focused in this point. The bearish scenario. The bearish scenario is this. Price can move below the structure. This will increase the bearish momentum. So we will have higher chances. But the price can face the same type of resistance, the same type of support, that it faced during the previous time. If you analyze all of these structures, this one and the previous one, you will see that they are very similar with each other. Look at what I'm going to do, because it was the same funny story also with this part at the time. I'm going to make a reply of all of this. Look at what actually happened at this point. As the pattern developed, you may think that probably we are in a type of triangle here. But on the other hand, we don't pay attention to left structure. And what is happening? Very good. Price looks like it is going to move higher. It moved lower, lower, lower. And after that, you can see many new traders to say that it didn't work. It's not the problem it worked or it didn't work. The market can do whatever it wants, and every time it expands the patterns. So it's something that we just don't have to lose focus from the bigger picture, not from the small pictures. Look at what is happening. Price keeps developing, keeps developing. Look at the structure, how this is showing support from below. So all of that structure, also this small part here that was looking like this type of movement, it didn't become at all a bearish pattern. As we saw later, it was transformed completely in a different thing. And look at the pattern transformation after that. And as we can see, price closed everything with this type of pattern. A 5-wave correction and the price continue with the upside. If I'm going to look at what happened here, because we cannot anticipate the patterns, here we have the correction that closed everything at the end of the day. A triangle pattern that pushed the price higher. So don't be afraid for what is going to happen. I'm going to break it down also on a smaller time frame right now. This is from the previous time that I explained the why. You can find it on the previous live stream, why the price was moving lower and how we should anticipate the bearish or the bullish movement. Look at what happened. Just one moment, please. On my scenarios, I was focused on the bearish side. It was something that we couldn't anticipate, so it was a choice at that moment. It is not this chart, it is this chart. Look at what happened on this chart. This was discussed the previous time. Price was here, and I said that we need to anticipate the bearish or the bullish movement, just to choose which one to trade. And look at what happened. From this part of the structure, price continue moving down. It reached almost the last area. However, as the price developed, we collect data, so we can close profits, we can leave profits. There are different types of closing the profits in different strategies. So it's not there the problem. The problem is that look at how we need to select our movements. Let's go on our structure where we are right now. What is actually happening is this part. We are on the 4-hour on the daily time frame now. I'm going to clone this line for the simple reason that we have the close here of the candles. And look at how beautiful the price reacted here. I'm not ruling out the possibility that the price should come down, and that is why on the scenarios that I'm watching, this is a potential reversal area in my opinion. And this potential reversal area should come between 38,500 and somewhere at 37. Price can move down at this point, so this is what I'm expecting. I'm going to move a bit faster now. Here we have the support areas, the main support areas, and look at where the price is right now. We can see if we have any pattern. We have this small breakout, and look at the channel, how perfect it was. So price is now trying to break out of the structure. You can say that, will this go up? It can move also down. This is the first structure where the price is facing support right now. And the bullish scenario is very simple at this point. It should grow from this part where it is now. If you want to be more conservative, it can come also lower because the price can test up to the lower part of the structure. However, this is the part of the bulls and the bears, so this is the war zone, let's say, the most important part of the support area. But what can happen? Because as we can see on the upper part of the structure, we had a big correction. This is all coming down. If this is going to invalidate, can it happen? Of course, this can happen. Price can make this movement, it can test, and we are going to have a 5-wave correction. So for the time being, I see only the bullish scenario at this point. The bearish will become only when the price will come at this area, and after that we need to see again for the bullish movement. For the moment, we have this type of double bottom here that was confirmed because price moved higher. So with only this data, I see only the bullish movement from this point. You can use also different type of trading. You can use spot if you want. You can use futures. I'm not with the idea that the futures are dangerous, because in forex trading that I apply a lot, and it's almost the same. So we have the same type of risk that we use every day. The problem comes with the risk that is involved. So as long as the traders are not going to use the risk management properly, everyone will call the futures of the crypto brokers dangerous. All the financial instruments in their self, they are dangerous in my opinion. There are no safe assets. So just manage your risk. If you want to trade the bullish scenario, this is our entry point. Buy, and your stop loss should be here. If you are going to trade futures and you are going to place a specific amount of money, keep in mind that this area is your invalidation area. Just forget your money after that. Don't be regret at all, because the next movement will be up. If this is going to come below this area, price should continue, it can continue lower. So this is the invalidation point of this scenario. So just use proper risk management. Usually in forex, it is advised to use from 1-2% approximately of the entire account. Many traders in crypto do some strange things. They try to trade in futures with the whole account, but that is very risky overall. So for all financial assets, it's risky. So just use this in this way. Use specific amounts from futures. If you are going to buy spot, be careful, because also the spot has the risk, because the price can continue down and you will not know what to do. So if the price comes down, the stop loss should be below this area, also if you are going to use spot. In spot trading, if you want to average down in all the movements of the price, when the price will move down, that is another type of strategy that is used also for stocks investment. However, you need to be careful, because the average down is something that should be done in advance, the trading plan, how you are going to face the difficulties after that. So sometimes, in my opinion, futures are better than spots. But spot trading is very, very good. It's the same as stock investment for long-term investors. Short-term, in 1, 2 months, 3 months, is something easy and without stress at all, the spot trading. So I like it at all, but it depends from the type of crypto that I use. For the risky ones, I like to use futures. For the ones that are like Bitcoin, I like to use also futures and spot as well. So they are very beautiful. I want to go with Ape coin. Sorry. This is something that the market is pushing a lot of pressure and is paying a lot of attention during this period of time. I'm not going to push any of the cryptos, because it will not be honest at all. What I see is that I don't want to interpret also the white paper. It's something that I don't want to be involved in that. We can see also only that the bullish momentum that came from the lower part of the structure was very high at the open. And after that, what we see is that the price is making up and downs. this is something that actually it looks good. What is happening with ApeCoin? Look at here. Price created this part of the structure. This was the base one after the upward movement. Price came down, price moves higher again. Let's see what happened on the lower time frame, because it doesn't have too much history and we need to rely on the data that we already have. Here we have our data. Price made this movement, that it was completed as a three-wave movement. These are corrective movements overall. And we can see on the other side that the price is coming down in the type of a channel. What is happening? Also, this channel that we are watching here, also this channel is a corrective movement overall. The problem with the channels is that you need to know how to read them. It's not the problem that you are going to look at the channels. A channel can continue to move down, down, and down until the price will break out of the channel. Another situation is that you need to know where is your invalidation point of the channel. So our invalidation is at this point. I will show you a lifetime example on ApeCoin that I have shared on my personal profile. These were two scenarios. This was the first one. Look at what happened. Price came down, it was on the lower part of the structure. Many traders think that why you are placing two lines, because these are the possibilities and how the price developed at this point. Look at how the price was developed here. Price will test the area and it will take the next direction. I'm going to play the chart now and look at our breaking point. Price came down. We can see that price tested here. The top part of the channel, because this is the resistance line that is coming from above, and after that the price moved lower again. So don't keep the theories that they don't work. The problem is that you need to know how to interpret the different type of theories and where to use the stop losses, because they become difficult after that and are very dangerous. And look at the next one. This is the second update that is done for the same scenario. What is actually happening is that on the second scenario, we can see that price broke out of the structure from the descending channel. It tested, and after that, we can see the next movement. Let's look at the movement, how it was developed. Look at how it was developed. Because this is part of the process overall. Price came up to the lower part of the structure and it moved higher after that. This is a normal process with pattern and with the overall analysis that we do. I'm going to look at a small part at this point that we need to pay attention. That is the invalidation point. If you are going to buy in this situation, I would advise better with futures, because ApeCoin is very volatile and we will never know how the volume will grow or it will decrease. So the best point is that you can buy with futures and your stop loss should be below. With stop loss, I mean that you should have a calculated risk in advance. If you are going to sacrifice to invest $100, $200, $500, it doesn't matter. That's all, and just forget about it. But this is how these patterns work. Sometimes I like better the futures than with these speculative ones. For me, Ape is very speculative, is a trendy crypto overall. It's not a solid one. So what can happen? Look at the price. I'm getting back on the structure and look at how the price is developing again. So we can see waves that are being formed here. Price is still moving up from this point. Look at the structure. We can see the price can validate this flag. It can move higher, or probably it will validate this part of the movement. These are two scenarios. The second part, where the price can move down, is that it will validate this type of double top pattern here. If it will validate this double top, the next movement should be down. How down it will be, that is another topic, but this is the first thing that we need to anticipate. Also, the price can make this development, so don't forget the range trading at all. So what is happening here is that if we are going to anticipate the bearish movement, the structure areas where the price will face support are this area here. Look at the areas of support. Look at the price. Bearish scenario, bullish scenario in blue. Let's place the other one, another color here, and here we have the orange one, that is the range trading. Three scenarios that you can follow on ApeCoin. So it's very good price movement, how it will develop. So just we need to follow them step by step. The next one that is very interesting is Ethereum. We are almost in the same approach as Bitcoin is doing. And look at this scenario. I'm holding this scenario in a very simple way. Look at what the price was facing from the other side. So the price can do two scenarios at this point. It can break out, it may correct, and it should continue higher. And in this way, the price in Ethereum will validate this wedge. This is a falling wedge pattern. When the price will validate, it doesn't mean that as long as the price broke out of the structure and now we are 100% and let's go with all the account. Well, that's a big mistake. It will increase our chances that we are going to have some more odds on our trading. So we are going to have more chances on our side again. It doesn't mean at all that we need to be riskier in trading. The other part is that we don't have to trade at all if the price doesn't break above the wedge pattern now, because we can face also the opposite scenario, that the price is actually developing. And price is actually developing the wedge pattern, or it can be transformed in something different. I don't know. Let's keep it something like this, like a channel, and it can continue moving lower. The low will be the low of the structure after that, if the price will come down on Ethereum. So I didn't go through the whole process, but these are the scenarios that we can already trade in this situation. So this is a scenario that you can look at very closely. It is not something that it makes sense in 1 hour. So it's better in this way. So you can just focus on these scenarios. 1 and 2. Both of them are very similar, are beautiful scenarios. Also another one, because we are running out of time, as I see. Another one that I want to see is Luna. We are watching that the price keeps forming this type of patterns here. I'm analyzing only the last wave, what is actually happening. The wave was very aggressive at this point. Probably the next time we can go in many details in Luna. Just I don't want to skip it this time because I know that many traders follow this pattern, this cryptocurrency, sorry. And what is actually happening, price keeps creating this type of corrective movements, and after that we see all of these impulsive ones. Look at how beautiful the price came down. Actually, the price is creating another type of pattern. You shouldn't buy or sell because you want to buy or sell. So just buy or sell because you find a reason all the time. And if you don't have a reason, don't trade at all. For the moment, this is not the right moment to trade. Because the price, what is doing is that we are facing the situation of a type of triangle, flat, it doesn't matter what we can call this. This is a corrective pattern. Or the price can make this type of movement. And if this is going to make this type of movement, this is a rising wedge in a falling trend. And this type of wedges, they end all the time by moving down. So they accumulate volume. What happened on the opposite side is that the price should jump above this structure, and after that, we can see the price to move all the way up from this point. So until that moment, we cannot anticipate anything. So these are the scenarios. For the bullish scenario, we need to see the price to move above not only the previous structure, but it should move above also this line. It should be above 91 for the bullish movement. Hope you enjoyed the coins, the cryptocurrencies that I selected for this live session, and probably we are going to have also on the coming weeks other live streaming with advanced strategies. So you can leave a comment on the Huobi YouTube page. What do you want to look at for the next time? So until the next week, let's see what will happen with these cryptocurrencies. So thank you for watching and see you the next week. Bye-bye.